Hello, everybody. How are you doing? It feels like it has been a month of Sundays since I've been done a live, and it really hasn't been. I just had to miss last week. So, happens when you fly, right? Hi, good afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is that you're watching this. My name is Brenda Sellers, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Knoxville, Tennessee. I like to do a live every Monday night, somewhere around 7:30, depending on when the computer decides to wake up and let us in. So tonight we are going to focus on Sweet Jar and Jar of Joy, if you happen to have seen the title. Jar of Joy was given to me because one of my friends might have accidentally ordered it twice. Thank you, friend. Um, and so then I ordered the Sweet Jar bundle, which has the same kind of jar with a punch. So that's what we're going to focus on tonight. And we're going to turn it into a fun fold. I saw another demonstrator that I don't know very well, but seems like she does quite a few fun folds. So I bought her tutorial and we're going to do that little fun fold and turn it into a gift card holder. All right, with all of that said, let me share my screen and we'll get crack-a-lackin'. Wrong button, that button. And then this will also give me a little bit of time to make sure everybody is seeing me and that we've got, yay, it is actually pretty straight. Woohoo! So this one was ordered extra, so it was a gift. Thank you, friend. And this one and this I ordered and it arrived while I was away. All right, so we are going to make our fun fold first. If you're watching on your big screen TV, some of those will let you watch on your screen and also make comments on your phone. But if you're watching that way, that's great. I love it because, you know, you got to be able to see things, right? Hey, Jeannie, I miss you, friend. All right, so I need my paper trimmer. It is hiding under the desk. And we're just going to follow some of her instructions, but we're going to jazz it up a tad. We are going to start with strawberry slush. And this one needs to be scored. We're going to start with how she's got it so that I don't mess it up because this is my first time making it. So you get to see how I can follow instructions, right? So we need to cut it at 4 1/4. This is going to be kind of a tent foldy card. There's our first cut. And then we are going to leave that up there. And we're going to score this at 1 1/2. So as my friend Julie Salva says, one of her friends says, park the dark. So that's the cutting. We don't want to cut. We're going to score at 1 1/2. We're going to score at 5 3/4. Score, not cut. And then we're going to score at 9 3/4. All right. We're going to lay that right there. And I think we're done with the big one. So we're going to close that arm. Now we are going to get some basic white. And we're going to cut that at 4 by 4. I have an extra little table. Actually, it's a chair that I'm using as a table beside me to hold all my scraps. And then we need a circle that is 1 3/4. Let me get other scraps for that. I don't want to use a huge piece if I, okay, so we need two, nope, one. 1 3/4 circle. There we go. And okay. Now we're ready for our designer series paper. We're going to use some of this designer series paper from the In Color Designer Series paper pack. I'm going to use that piece. So this needs to be cut at 4. One and a quarter. I'm going to go this way so that I've got more up against that. So this little guy goes over here. Then I need 3 3/4. This guy goes over here. And 4 by 1. How about that? Perfect. All right, now on to the next little step. We're done with our cutting. That is scrap, so it's going to go over there. So now we are going to fold these guys. Fold the score lines toward the center. Okay, I can do that. And it needs, yep, this piece goes right here. Hey, Becky, you did find me. I've missed you guys. I need to not make it be so long between videos, huh? That little guy goes right there. Need to put a piece of, and then we're going to use this. Yep, to notch it, because that's where our gift card is going to go. And then fold and fold. All right, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Put adhesive on the side. Okay, so we need to put some, I'm going to use glue because that way my lines are a little bit smaller. Yep. If I can get some to come out. Hold on, I got another one right here. You don't have to have your gift card first. I just feel like it gives us a little extra wiggle room. All right. And then we're going to put this on the front, which is right here. And I'm going to, yep, I want this to be on the inside, like not seen. I'm kind of digging that. All right. And then this goes up here. I saw her video and then it's like, ah, I need to know how to make that. And it's like, I'm just gonna get her tutorial, and that's what I did. So that goes there. Enter over the score line. Okay. 2 inch. And you can see, well, I thought you could. Do your best guesstimate. I'm gonna make it go right there. And then fold the card closed. It's closed. And then put this right there. So some glue. And I grab the one that doesn't want to cooperate. You don't want to put a ton of it because it's going to squish out if you do. Okay, let's hold it while we look at the next. Stamp our sentiment. All righty, let's get crack-a-lacking. Sending a little sweetness your way. So let's find all of those words. There's sweetness. Oh, right there. And sweetness. I'm laying it there so it can kind of relax a little bit. Now let's pop that up and grab us a block or two. I'm going to stamp that in pretty in pink. Hi guys, I see several of us are watching. And strawberry slush. And in the center, perfect. Close it because we know I'll put my hand in it. And sweetness will fit right in there. Perfect. And close this one. We're going to put that right there. All right, and now I am going to, oops, we might miss the part where this guy goes. It goes right here. I must have skipped right over that, huh? But it goes right here. And then your gift card goes right here. Fold it up. fold it down. Let's put a coffee, put the little jar with some coffee beans in it on a piece of scrap white. Oops, dropped it. Oops, sorry. Turn the volume off. Look. And there's the lid. I love having my blocks right beside me. All right, let's stamp our jar in strawberry slush. And then stamp our lid also in strawberry slush. Nope. At the top. And so it needs to go. There we go. And I'm not going to punch that out just yet. Let's add some filler in there. Let's do coffee beans. So there's some beans. Ew. Perfect. So I need 2 blocks. 1, 2. And we're going to use pecan pie. We're going to stamp off. Stamp off again because that's kind of got a film. Some people say rub it on your skin and that helps get the film off. I tend to rub it on my jeans. That helps get the film off. All right. I want that a little bit lighter so it can stamp off. Then we're going to fill our jar. And then we're going to get our, oh, I should have cleaned that first. Think it'll be okay. Fill our jar with some dark beans. Nice. Punch it out. And let's add some dimensionals. And I know they're right here in front of me. Like, where did you go? I need some baby ones for the lid. Those are not very heavy and they don't want to stay. So I'm going to set the jar right there. And Let's put a tiny one over here. Let's see if it's small enough. It is. And my silicone mat is on the table over there. There we go. So, sending a little sweetness your way, and then you open it, and you open it, and oh, it's got sticky right there. Like, why is it sticking to my hand? Don't put sticky all the way around that. All right. So, strawberry slush, hang on. So don't do exactly what I did. Do similar. And we only need about half. Why is it sticking? So if you don't like seeing the white, you can cover it all up, right? Just like that. So there is your place to write your sentiment. Hello, Sheila from New Zealand. So then there's that. And then you just close it back up. And there's your little jar. Isn't that a cute little fun fold? Thank you for being my little guinea pigs as I figured out how to do the first one. All right, now let's do another cute little card. Let's use the other one. We're going to use this paper. And our card base is going to be pecan pie. I got all my ink pads covered up. Okay, good. Like I don't want to lay a good fresh piece of paper in it. So I'm going to turn, actually, let's score it at 4 1/4. And we're going to create 2 card bases out of this, which is what I typically always do. But I wasn't sure how her instructions were going to go because that was the first time I did it. Thank you, Heidi, for sharing your card tutorial. All right, so there's that one to go over there. And there's that one. And then let's do Timid Tiger, 5 1/4. 5/4. Standard card, but first layer size. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that's pretty much it. So now we're going to do 3 3/4. You're going to go over there by 5. And then that will lay. Well, what did I do wrong? My timid tiger should be taller. Five and a quarter. By 4. It helps if you measure correctly. What time is it in New Zealand? I know that you guys are ahead of us. All right, there we go. Much better. And let's do It is a card base. Let's do 3.5. 5, 4. A little shorter. Let's do 3.5 by 3.5. That way it's square. How tall is our jar? We can make it a little shorter. Narrower. 2 3/4. This is totally flying by the seat of your pants. All right, that's what I want. And I think let's start layering it together and see where we go. Oh, I didn't use any bling on that one. Shame on me. I'll get some. So it opens that way. We can put a piece of basic white on the inside. Let's layer these guys together. I love the patterns in the in color packs. So it makes it kind of hard to choose. But I just kind of thought these look like where the coffee beans were growing. Of course, you can tell that I probably do not know what a coffee plant looks like either. So there's that. Don't take it to the bank. But our leaves are starting to fall here, so it's like it's starting to be fall. Let's go like that. And let's use, haha, we're gonna make that a little narrower. Yep, it'll fit on there. So that is 2 1/4. So that needs to be, we're gonna make it be 2.5. And then let's make our by 3. We're just gonna use all the patterns. I'm gonna set that right like that. So the sweet jar bundle is available right now, and so is the jar of joy. All right, we're gonna stamp it with, our jar is gonna be Timid Tiger. If I can find where I put it. Okay, there's the lid. Here it is. Stamp that off a couple times. Nice. And I think I'm gonna do coffee beans in it too, because it's already there, you know. Actually, yep, we're doing coffee beans. This is and then full strength. I guess you could color those individually if you wanted to and make them be like jelly beans in the jar. Wouldn't that be fun? Because jelly beans are yummy and coffee beans, you gotta like them, right? I'm gonna cut out the lid or punch out the lid first. Twist it around and get the jar. And now that is totally scrap. And let's put some twine around that. Where's my twine bin? Got some right here. Or linen thread, whatever you want to call it. Twine, linen thread. It's all that brown stuff, you know. And then it's tying it on camera. And linen thread, I like the look. Sometimes it's hard to hold on to it. If you followed me you know that I took a little teddy bear of a little girl who calls me her auntie to Raleigh to on stage with me. And well, Mr. Bear got a hole in his neck. So she had her mommy send me a message and said, "Would you fix it?" So I got to play with thread again. And I think linen thread is tiny and thin. Really, sewing thread is even smaller. Come off of there. Thank you. And let's pop one in the middle. And I'm going to pop that on dimensionals. I know it's going to make it extra thick, but it just is going to look more cute. Or cuter, I guess is the proper English. And he needs his little baby one. Where did I put them? That way all of the aroma doesn't escape the jar, right? And stamp happy birthday on it. And I should have done that before, but we're going to stamp it on a piece of scrap and go from there. Block. Keep covering up what I need to use. You are very welcome. Do you like the fun fold one or this one? I hadn't played with this designer series paper yet. and I obviously had not played with the stamp set. So it's like, let's play with the stamp set. Let's play with it all. All right. I can't cut a straight line, so save you. There's snips. Big dimensionals. All right, let's switch over to the Christmas one, the Jar of Joy. I'll put the lid on this before I put my hand in it. Now let's do the same thing, but with Christmas. You get the same jar. Actually, that lid is not filled in. This one is. We're going to use what's already on the block, so it saves us a little time. And yep, they're the same. That one's just a tad different. Oh, and it's got, okay. But we're going to put the gingerbread guy inside. All right, now I feel like I have to switch jars. You. And then I'll lay that out of my way so I don't get them, so they don't walk off the desk. You like the orange paper? I do too. It would have nothing to do with the football team that just played yesterday, correct? All right, I think that's what we used. Oh, I need to find sweetness. Where's sweetness? All right. Now let's put ink pads up there. That goes there. Jar of Joy. When they come off that, they just get all wiggle wobbly. So let's lay it on a piece of paper so that it can kind of relax. And then pop it on a block. And then I'm gonna rub it on my skin, rub it on my pants. When they create the silicone or the photopolymer stamps, they spray the molds with silicone. So it needs something to help it release from the mold. And that's why sometimes the first stamp doesn't always stamp the most clean. All right, and we'll pick our, oh, we need the jar lid. And wishing you the sweetest Christmas. That'll go in our circle. And so let's use the bulbs. We're gonna hang those from the lid. And may your heart be filled with joy, sending a jar full of cheer, wishing you the sweetest Christmas. I love the little snowman, and there's a scarf and all kinds of fun stuff. There, oh, for his hat band. Cute. All right, let's lay this over here out of the way. And now let's get crack-a-lackin' and create another one. Let's do Christmas on the strawberry slush. or the, not the cookie bread, gingerbread, whatever that guy's called. I'm putting them on the blocks so that I don't lose them. All right, so Miss Heidi, for our first score lines, we are going to score it at 1.5. 5 3/4. And 9 3/4. All right, and we need some more designer series paper. Oop. Here is our pink strawberry slush. And I used the other timid tiger. So where did you go? Hiding on me. There you go. All right. Basic white for our inside, 4x4. And remember where it needs to be inked or adhesive put on it, not all around the top, right? Okay. Following them up right there. And then 1 3/4 inch circle. Nope, that's the 2. I think you're done. And then designer series paper, we need 4 inches. You go back over there. 1 1/4. Right here's 1. That longest line right there is 1/4. And 4 3 3/4. And then that's 1 inch. Perfect. Okay, so let's get busy. So this guy goes up first. Got adhesive on my phone folder again. And then we put our little piece right here. Gives you an opportunity to watch it again in slow motion. And take your own notes if you want to. I can't post them because it is Heidi's. This is going to go right here. That looks crooked. We're going to pretend it's not. It's not. It's sure. In my brain, it kind of looks like it is. All right, let's put some adhesive down here to hold our gift card. And don't forget to notch it like I almost did. That helps me keep my glue where my notch where it needs to be. Now close it up. All right, and got the 2-inch, it is. And our white goes right there before we forget. And so I'm going to put my adhesive inside here. Probably way more than it needs. But that time, I didn't get any adhesive back here. All right. And then our piece of designer series paper goes right there. Fold that down. Put some adhesive right here. Not too much that it squishes out. There we go. I'm going to lay a block on it. And are you big enough? Yes. Nice. Adhesive. All right, and now our scrap. It'll fit. And the lid. I have 2 lids. We're going to use this one. Perfect. So you lid go over here with your friend. Whoa, sorry. That was loud. How many of you have dropped it completely on the floor? Me? Like I got butterfingers today. I'm going to leave it on there until I stamp inside it. So we're not going to stamp with strawberry slush. The lid's going to go right there. So let's put those right on the top. And let's use Pretty in Pink. Loving looking up there and seeing all of those little emojis. Hi. Thank you. Makes it fun. Thank you, everybody, for watching and liking and subscribing to the channel. You could stamp off. You don't have to have 2 different colors of pink. You could stamp off with that and get a light a lighter color, but I have it, so let's use it. And then punch this little guy out. Dimensionals. I have a recycle bin right beside me, so it's not like I'm dropping them right on the floor. That would be a mess to have to clean up later, and I don't like cleaning up messes later. I'm going to put one just right there. It's the mini Stampin' Dimensionals. And that way I've got something to hang on to. I'm putting the lid on, so it really makes it look like those are hanging from the lid. All right, so there's this one. So you fold it up and open, and you can put your, I guess I left it in the other card. I did. And slide your gift card right in there for wherever you want. Isn't that the cutest? Okay, close it up and let's do our Timid Tiger one. All right. We already have our card base cut. So let's go ahead and fold it. We'll just make two that are very similar. And I think I want to use that piece. I'm going to use this piece and the stripe piece from that one. All right. Stack up over here out of the way. Need the Timid Tiger piece. That's too short. Where's the other one? That one's too short. All right, Timid Tiger, coming right up. That one's 4. Perfect. Already cut. So this needs to be 5. Actually, let's do 3 3/4 first. 5 5. Which pattern of the designer series paper do you like better? Like this, the flowers, the stripies, or the leaves? Okie dokie. And then we're going to use this. So it needs to be 2.5 by 3.5. Nope. Well, that's the card base again. Three and a half. 2.5. Flowers for you, Jeannie. Flowers are pretty. I can't believe I'm not using flowers tonight. I'm sure half of everybody else that's watching is like, what is wrong with Brenda? No, she's not sick. It's just fall. And yes, there are some flowers still blooming in my yard. Do I know the names of them? Absolutely not. Our neighbor gave them to me and she said, these are really hard to kill. That's what she told my husband when he brought them to me. And so I planted them along the edge of the deck out there. And guess what only came back? I probably planted, I would say, a good 6 or 7 clumps. 3 came back. I'm not disappointed because she said they will grow more, and I see hers doing beautifully well. So it's just one of those things. My daylilies did really good this year. First time because I bought them last year and planted them. My roses have done extraordinary. They are called knockout roses. I do know those. My mom and the same neighbor gave me some hen and chicks, those little succulents. And hubby built me, it looks like a watering trough, but it's just a small, narrow box. And I lined that whole thing with it. And guess what? Only a handful of them come. But um, they reproduce like crazy. I saw them yesterday and it's like, oh, I need to weed the bucket. But also, they look like they're thriving. All right, so our jar needs to be, that's peach pie. No wonder it was kind of light. Where's Timid Tiger? Did I put him in the wrong spot? There's pumpkin pie. Daffodil Delight. It's still on the disc. I'm working on it, guys. Only have 2 buckets over. Yep, there's Timid Tiger. No wonder that looked a little light on the other one, but it's totally fine. But we're using Timid Tiger this time instead of peach pie. It was in the wrong spot. All right. Turn you around. Much better. It helps when you have the correct color, doesn't it? Nice. Okay, you can go back over there till I get done with you. And which one is the outline? That's the filler. That's that one. Don't nobody. Oh, wait. That's the filler. Okay. Stamp off. Stamp on. Nice. Let's get you good and juicy. You could use different colors on this too. That would have been cute. But we're not. Nice. And let's punch out the jar lid. These little slivers. All right, let's pop him on some dimensionals. We're almost done. And then we'll find a saying from that same set to go with this. You could stamp your envelope too to match. I think these are so pretty. And a baby one for the lid. We're going to keep the lid on this because we want our cookies fresh. There we go. All right, stamp set. Those are really long, but I could stamp it on the bottom. Sending you a jar full of cheer. Let's do that in pecan pie. And try not to mess it up. I need so that's straight. That's the only thing with these glass mats. They are loud. But I love stamping on them. Nice. Couldn't do that again if I tried. Probably could, but might center it over that way a little bit. But it's hand stamped. Every one is different, right? Okay. So I know that you guys said you like the flowers, but here are the 4 cards that I made tonight featuring both stamp sets. So there is the Sweet Jar, and this one is Jar of Joy. So these two are gift card holders, and these two you could put a little slit on your paper, your basic white, when you put it in there to hold a stamp set, or your card won't hold a stamp set, Brenda. It will hold a gift card if you do it that way. All right, let me know what you think. I hope that you enjoyed tonight. And see, these will fit right in the same envelope, same size envelope as the other ones will, without having to fold anything extra. There are, oops, slide up a little bit. Slide over. That gets them in the screen better. Okay. Hope that you enjoyed tonight, and thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. Share it with your friends and anybody else that you might like to. And I will catch you again soon. I hope that you have a great week and do something fun for yourself. And be sure to subscribe to my email newsletter. There's fun stuff coming.